You might recognize me from the JR Garage channel or even from the JR Business channel, and that's because Jeffrey is my best friend. So today's video, we're gonna be exposing JR Garage. What's going on, everybody? Kieran O'Brien here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today is a little bit of a different topic than normal on my channel. And I imagine I'm probably going to have some viewers out there that are not subscribers that maybe don't even know who I am. And so with that being said, I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit so that you know who I am and kind of why I decided to make this video. So my name is Kieran O'Brien. I'm a 19-year-old digital marketer and online entrepreneur, and this YouTube channel is my YouTube channel where I talk about all sorts of things related to digital marketing and online marketing, and that's what the majority of the topics on this channel are about. Now, today's video is not really related to that at all, and I'll tell you why. So today's video, we're gonna be exposing JR Garage, and I'll tell you guys why I decided to make this video. So you might recognize me from the JR Garage channel or even from the JR Business channel, and that's because Jeffrey is my best friend. We've been best friends for years now, and I wanted to make this video because there's a lot of negativity surrounding him and his channel, and there's a lot of false information that's being spread out there on the internet. And so I know if you guys are here watching this video today and you maybe don't know who I am, or maybe you do know who I am and you recognize me from JR Garage, you know that I'm associated with him, you probably are already like, oh, this guy's just gonna come on here and defend Jeffrey, right? And I wanted to say first and foremost that that is not what this video is going to be about at all. I am here because I know Jeffrey better than pretty much anybody else on the face of the planet. So I'm gonna be talking about the facts. There is no opinions that are going to be inserted into this video today, and I'm literally just going to lay out facts that are 100% true, and you don't have to believe me, but you have my word that everything that I'm saying in this video is a fact. I'm not gonna sit here and defend him and tell you guys why, oh, this, and that, and my opinion on everything. I'm just gonna give you guys the facts because I know them, and being close with Jeffrey allows me to know a lot of these topics that he has this controversy about on a very in-depth level. So even though most of Jeffrey's controversy was back in 2017 and 2018 when he first blew up, it's kind of arisen again lately because of his VinWiki video where he talks about his yellow Aventador that he was essentially scammed when he was trying to buy it. He was scammed by this guy, and he went on VinWiki and told the whole story about how that happened. And so I just wanted to get on here because I know a lot of people are, getting, riled up again and saying, oh, JR Garage is fake, daddy's money, all these things. So again, here to make this video and just give you guys some facts. So let's rewind back to 2017. Jeffrey and I met at a car show in Virginia. We were both born and raised in Virginia. We were 17 at the time, and we became very close friends very quickly. I ended up helping him out with his YouTube channel and editing his videos for him, etc. And we became very close. In 2018 is when we really became close because we started traveling the world together and literally going everywhere together. If you look at almost any of his videos from 2018, it's him and I and his brother Christian traveling all over the world together and doing a lot of cool stuff. And so throughout that process, I was able to become very close with him and get kind of an insight onto his daily life, his business, how he buys and sells all the cars that he has for his YouTube channel, and pretty much everything else in between. And so one of the biggest things that I want to cover early on in this video is the fact that, yes, Jeffrey gets hate because he's young and has all of these crazy nice things and all of these crazy cool cars, etc. And that is completely understandable, right? He was 16 when he first bought his Dodge Viper in his first Driving My Viper to High School video, and then he bought a Ferrari at 17 and a Lamborghini at 18, and since then he's bought like 3 more Ferraris and 3 more Lamborghinis and everything else. And so that is a little bit hard to believe, right? But if we break this down logically, a lot of people don't really understand why, there's so many of these, young kids out there on the internet that are claiming to make all this money, and a lot of people don't believe it. There's a lot of haters, and Jeffrey is one of those younger people that is making a lot of money. And the reason they're able to do this is through online business and e-commerce. And so Jeffrey is not the only one out there that has been able to accumulate financial success at a very young age. One of my other best friends, Hayden Bowles, is a large YouTuber as well. He got 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he focuses primarily on e-commerce based videos. He's a self-made millionaire at 18 years old, and he owns a Lamborghini Huracan and a BMW M4, and there's other people out there that are like that. But I think one of the reasons that Jeffrey had so much hate and so much controversy is because he wasn't talking about how he made his money. He wasn't talking about, what he did to get there. He kept that all very secret because he's more of a private person. And so the content that he's putting out there on the internet is mainly just the cars and the results of all of his hard work and all of the money that he had made up until that point. And he was just talking about that. He wasn't worried about explaining himself to the internet. Now, that's not a problem when you've got a couple hundred subscribers and you're just making videos for fun. That does become a problem, and when you get a lot of hate, is when you blow up and get millions of subscribers or millions of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers pretty much overnight, which is what happened with Jeffrey when he made his Viper Goes to High School video. He literally got like 1 million views overnight on that video and 100,000 plus subscribers. So, imagine being a 17-year-old kid waking up, going to high school one morning, and all of a sudden your YouTube video that you just posted online for fun has 1 million views, and you've got 100,000 fans on social media that are watching everything you do, right? It's a little bit scary. And so the people that watch the JR Garage YouTube videos are not people that are interested in business necessarily. They're more so car enthusiasts. And so they didn't really understand how somebody that at this young of an age was able to make so much money and afford all these cars. So the next 3 topics that I'm going to kind of dive into about Jeffrey and about JR Garage are, number 1, the cars, explain those a little bit, right? Number 2, his personal life and kind of what's going on behind the scenes with his brothers and his parents and his dad owning hedge funds and all these crazy rumors that are going around. And then number 3 is we're going to talk a little bit about the cryptocurrency stuff that we did back in 2017 and early 2018, and because that was a big topic of conversation around the JR Garage exposed videos as well. So we're going to jump into those. So as I said, Jeffrey blew up on YouTube with a video that you all probably saw back in 2017 when he drove his Dodge Viper to high school. And so back then he was going to a high school in Virginia, about 20 minutes away from where I lived. I was in high school as well. We actually graduated the same year. And so we lived about 20 minutes away from each other. We'd always hang out at car shows, and we became really close in 2017. And so, Jeffrey obviously was living at home with his parents at the time, and he was running his e-commerce business when he wasn't at school. So he would go to school during the day and come home and work on his e-commerce business with his brothers. And yes, I said brothers with an S, a plural at the end, because Jeffrey has 2 brothers. Both of them are older. One of them is Christian, who you see on the YouTube channel pretty frequently. He's an awesome mechanic and really good with cars, etc. And the other brother does not like to be on camera. He's a very introverted person. He's not a big fan of the whole YouTube thing. So when Jeffrey blew up on YouTube, Jeffrey's other brother was like, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm just going to focus on our business and leave it at that. You can go have fun with the YouTube stuff. And so, Jeffrey is kind of the most outgoing and extroverted one of his brothers, I would say. And so that's why he found success with YouTube, because he was pretty good on camera and was able to articulate things very well. And that's kind of why he found success on YouTube. And so again, 2017, his brothers are running the e-commerce business. Both of his brothers, Christian was in college at the time. His other brother, I'm not sure if he was in college or not. However, they were able to work at home while Jeffrey was at school. Jeffrey would come home and they would all run this business together. Now, what is this business that I'm talking about? Okay, so Jeffrey, if you don't already know, he has explained this in some of his YouTube videos, but he buys and sells collectibles and coins online. That's pretty much the gist of it, right? Old coins and currency, he buys them and then resells them for a profit. And he's able to do this through a number of different avenues. His biggest stream of income is eBay. So he has a number of different eBay stores, and he sells big ticket coin collections and very high profile collectible coins on his eBay stores, okay? And so I've seen the back end of his eBay stores. I promise you guys, I've seen him log into his eBay and show me his analytics. There are millions of dollars in sales that he has done through his eBay stores. It's 100% real. And again, you guys might not believe me, but I don't really care. I'm just here to give you guys the facts. So I've seen his eBay stores. The other couple things that he does is he has a Shopify platform as well. So he does have a Shopify store where he sells coins and currency online. He has an Etsy store that does pretty well in addition to that. And then he does a few things on Amazon as well. You can't really sell coins and currency on Amazon. It's kind of against their terms and conditions, but he has some other stuff going on Amazon. So long story short, guys, Jeffrey, pretty much a 17-year-old hustler. He has 2 older brothers that are helping him out, and they're all kind of working on this business together. And then obviously Jeffrey has parents. His parents are together. They're not, divorced or anything. They're married, and they were in Jeffrey's life. Like, it's not like Jeffrey was just living on his own at 17 years old. They were all living together, family of 5. And his dad used to be into like the electronics business a little bit, but he's essentially retired now. Same with his mom. They don't really work actively, and they don't really earn much of the income compared to what Jeffrey and his brothers earn. And so pretty much, Jeffrey told us in some of his YouTube videos, he was paying their mortgage and doing all these things. He, bought all the cars for the family. His brothers and him, bought the cars for the family, etc. And so his parents, if you guys are wondering about that, no, his dad does not own a hedge fund. No, his dad does not own a salvage car yard. I'm trying to think of what other rumors are out there about Jeffrey's dad. Anyway, none of them are true. I know Jeffrey's dad. I've spent a pretty good amount of time with Jeffrey's father, and he's an awesome guy, but by no means is he, helping Jeffrey financially or anything like that. Today, his parents do help out with Jeffrey and his brother's businesses a little bit. They help, shipping out orders and things like that, because Jeffrey and his brothers don't have a huge staff because they don't really need one, because there's 3 of them, and then their parents help out a little bit here and there as well. And so that's pretty much it. That's how it operates. And so let me just put this in perspective for you guys. Jeffrey's 14, 15 years old, figuring out that he can buy and sell things for a profit online. He has 2 brothers helping him do it. They end up scaling it to a pretty large scale, and they start doing hundreds of thousands of dollars, eventually millions of dollars in sales. And again, it might seem a little bit unrealistic, but it's really not that difficult once you find a business that works to scale it up and to repeat what works, right? And so essentially, he was just finding ways to go out there and buy coin collections, sell them for a profit, and then he did that through e-commerce platforms like eBay and Etsy, etc., to make all of his money. Now, he's a car enthusiast, so naturally, he started making a lot of money. He went out and bought some cars. Now, let's talk specifically about the Dodge Viper, the car that kind of made Jeffrey famous on the internet. This Dodge Viper is, I think, a 2006 Dodge Viper. He bought it for $28,000 back in 2016, and he just bought it because it was one of his dream cars, right? So, you're a 16-year-old kid, you just bought your dream car, you're making a lot of money online with your e-commerce eBay store, and so naturally, you want to show off to your friends a little bit. Jeffrey walked to school every day, so he never really drove, his cars to school, and so one day he had the idea to put a GoPro on his windshield and record himself driving his Viper, literally like right down the street. He lived very close to the school that he went to. That's why he walked. And so he just drove his Viper down the street, pulled it into the parking lot, like right when school let out at the end of the day, and filmed it, put it up on YouTube. And then the next morning, like I said, he woke up to hundreds of thousands of views and everything else. It just went viral pretty much overnight. Pretty crazy case study for YouTube. So remember how I said he bought this car for $28,500? Right, it was a salvage title, a rebuilt title Viper. A normal Dodge Viper of that year would go for like over $40,000. Again, he bought a rebuilt title Dodge Viper for 28 grand and then drove it to high school and made a viral video. He almost probably made his money back just on that video alone. So he's making good money online at a young age. He has a nice car. He just posted a YouTube video and it went completely viral overnight. And so, put yourself in his shoes for a second. You're a relatively introverted kid. Most people don't don't know about your financial success because you're just, going to high school and living your life. And all of a sudden you've got hundreds of thousands of people watching you online on the internet, right? So it's kind of a scary thing. And Jeffrey handled it pretty well. He kept putting out content, and he tried to explain himself the best he could. But one thing that he was always scared of, and one thing that he told me, was that he had a lot of like physical inventory of like these very valuable and rare coins, and and a lot of them are like made of gold and silver and all of these rare commodities. And so he was always scared that if he gave too much information away about his business and his personal life and his like his parents and anything like that, that they'd be able to find out where he lives and where his office is and things like that, and and maybe rob from him or do something terrible. And so that's the one thing that he was always scared of, especially back when he just had all this happen to him overnight, and he had no time to prepare any sort of infrastructure or any sort of security to protect him from all of that. And so that's why he kind of kept everything very vague. And he wasn't hiding anything or lying to his viewers. He just genuinely wanted to focus on the automotive content. He didn't really want to dive into how he made his money or anything like that. And when he did dive into those things, he kept it relatively vague for the reasons that I just stated. So if you guys notice, if you kind of go back through his YouTube channel, Jeffrey didn't buy any crazy exotic cars until he already had blown up on YouTube, right? And it's not because he made all this YouTube money and that's how he was paying for these cars, because obviously you're not going to make enough money on YouTube, with 500,000 subscribers, or whatever he had at the time. It was like 200,000-300,000, and he got up to 500,000 in 2018. You're not going to make enough YouTube money to afford Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and the insurance and maintenance and everything else that goes with them, just off of YouTube alone, right? He had a lot of, liquid cash from his e-commerce businesses, and he had all these things. He never felt the need to really go and splurge on nice luxury exotic cars, and that's why he never did. He bought that Dodge Viper for 28 grand, and he never really intended on doing anything else crazy. Not because he didn't have the money, but just because there was no reason, there was no justification for it, right? So all of a sudden he becomes a massive influencer in the automotive industry, and so he's like, okay, now I can go buy a Ferrari for, his 355 was like 90 grand or something. I can go buy a Ferrari for 90 grand, and I can completely justify it because I'm going to be able to show it to my audience, right? It's going to bring me more subscribers, more views, more YouTube monetization money. It's not going to pay for the car, right? His businesses are paying for the car, but he can justify it because, now it's being used for his YouTube channel, and, he can resell it for a profit later on anyway. And so that's kind of where his mindset went, and that's why he was able to justify all the, crazy cars that he bought from there on forward. It's not because the YouTube money was paying for them, as I said. It's just simply the fact that when he buys a crazy Lamborghini, his views go up, his subscribers go up, and as you guys saw, when he bought his first Lamborghini, he made another video. The Viper Goes to High School video only got 5 million views. Lamborghini Goes to High School got 20 million and really put Jeffrey on the map. And so, he paid like $100,000 for that Lamborghini Gallardo, a relatively low price, and he made ridiculous YouTube money from the Gallardo. Overall, the YouTube money from his channel can be almost completely contributed to the Gallardo, because that's what brought him, over a fourth of all of his channel views, and a lot of his subscribers and a lot of his notoriety came from that car. So if you just look at it on a very macro scale, buying that Lamborghini really, really paid off. And if you're buying a $100,000 already depreciated Lamborghini Gallardo, you're gonna sell it for right around $100,000, no matter how many miles you put on it, on top of the fact that you're making YouTube money and you're gaining followers and all these things. It's really a safe investment for him, right? And so that's why he's been able to do it over and over and over and over again up until now in 2019, where he's bought all these crazy exotic cars still at a young age, is because he can justify it and because he's not losing any money on these cars. He's not going out there and buying brand new McLarens off the showroom floor. He's buying pre-owned cars that have already hit their depreciation curve, right? And then in most cases, what he's done a lot more of recently is he's buying salvage title or rebuilt title cars, so that he can either rebuild them or just buy rebuilt cars already, because they've depreciated a lot more than even a normal version of that vehicle. And then when he buys a salvage title car, he's getting a great deal on it, number one, and then he can make a bunch of YouTube videos about rebuilding it, and then those get views and those bring in YouTube money, etc., etc. It's a system, right? And to this day, I can tell you guys honestly, I've been there for the buying and selling of almost all of Jeffrey's vehicles that he's had to this day, and I can tell you guys, he has not lost money on a single car that he's sold, right? He has monetized it through his YouTube channel, and then even the sale price itself has been higher than whatever he bought it for. Very simple, guys. It's really not that hard to wrap your head around. People just don't really think about it that way, when they're just looking at a 19-year-old with all these crazy cars. They just automatically assume all of those things, right? The next thing on the overall topic of Jeffrey's vehicles is his maintenance and insurance. Obviously, these are things that, especially back when he was like 16, 17 years old on YouTube, people were always skeptical about, how do you insure, how do you maintain these cars? For insurance, number one, I just know that he has an amazing insurance plan. I wish I had the same insurance as him because I pay way more for like my M6 than he does for his Ferrari, for example. It's crazy. There's plenty of different little insurance hacks out there that you can do to get your payment down, whether it's messing with your deductibles or whatever it is. When you have, I think Jeffrey has 16 cars right now, you don't need a crazy low deductible when you have 16 cars, because guess what? You're not driving all of them all the time. If they're sitting in your garage, it doesn't matter if you have a high deductible, because the likelihood of you getting in a crash when you drive it once a month is very low. So there's just little things like that you can kind of do to get your insurance rates down. And then, on the maintenance side of things, you guys know Christian. In most of the YouTube videos, Christian's doing the maintenance. He's done everything from body work to oil changes to tires and wheels and everything. Christian is just one of those guys that just is really good with mechanical related problems. He fixes all the problems on their vehicles. Very rarely have Jeffrey and Christian had to go to a third party to get some stuff done. There was a couple instances, for example, they needed to get a clutch replacement for their F430. Now, what happens when you want to go to an automotive business and get automotive services done when you're a massive automotive influencer? You get it either for free or for a discount in exchange for a shout out in the YouTube video. So they are pretty much paying nothing for maintenance, because either Christian does it or they work with a company and create a brand deal out of it, and then that company gets followers and more business because of the JR Garage promotion, and then Jeffrey gets free or very discounted service on his vehicles. So that's not even something that you guys should even question. It's simple. You guys see brand deals and influencer marketing out there all the time. It's something that I do for a living. It's very simple. So guys, I'm kind of going to leave the cars there. If you guys have any more questions about Jeffrey's cars or anything that he does with them, drop a comment down below. We're going to move on now to the business side of things. I talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but again, Jeffrey's got an eBay store, an Etsy store, Amazon store, all these things that are generating him a really good amount of money. Him and his brothers, they all run the business together, right? And it's in the coin collection and valuable commodity space. And another thing that Jeffrey got a lot of slack for is in one of our JR Business YouTube videos that we made way long ago, he referenced one of his websites called photocoinoffers.com, and somebody made a YouTube video about how it only gets like 49 visitors a day on some like tracking platform. First of all, photocoinoffers.com gets way more than 49 visitors a day. Their second gripe with that website that Jeffrey referenced is that the design was really bad. And so first of all, Jeffrey designed that website when he was 16 years old, and overall the coin industry, very old-fashioned. You don't really need a crazy modern up-to-date website. It doesn't really matter. The purpose of that website is for Jeffrey to source collections that he then sells on his eBay and Amazon and Etsy stores, right? So people, they search up sell old coins for cash, and I encourage you guys, if you want to open a new tab on your computer right now and search up sell old coins for cash or something related to that, the SEO on photocoinoffers.com is ridiculous. That's why Jeffrey buys so many collections through it, even if he was getting 49 visitors a day. If there are 49 visitors every single day that have coin collections, maybe their grandma died and they have a coin collection that they want to sell, and they contact Jeffrey, he buys it for $1,000 and then goes and splits up the collection and sells the entire collection for $10,000 on his eBay stores. That's what he does. And so 49 visitors a day, as long as the SEO is really good, that's more than enough for him to make a lot of money. Again, it is more than 49 visitors a day. I've told Jeffrey he needs to redesign the website. That's his prerogative though, and we won't worry about that too much. Now, in the way of business, outside of all the coin stuff, Jeffrey has found a lot of ways to monetize everything that he's doing. And this is one of the things that I commend him for. He's just a very, very smart guy. Number one, he doesn't spend a lot of money. If you guys ever see what he's wearing in his YouTube videos, he never wears anything like designer, crazy, like luxury stuff. He literally buys clothes from Goodwill. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. When I've been on road trips with him before where we've literally bought, like, he literally will buy a $1 t-shirt from Goodwill. He just doesn't care about material objects. You know, he's a car enthusiast, obviously, so he's buying nice cars. But other than that, nothing else in his life is like luxurious or high-end or anything like that. There was one JR Garage Exposed video where a guy literally made fun of Jeffrey and I for taking a bus up to New York City for the New York car show like 2 or 3 years ago. And yeah, the bus ticket was $7. We wanted to go to New York City. We didn't want to pay hundreds of dollars for a plane ticket, so we took a bus. It doesn't matter. We took it in the middle of the night and we slept on the bus. It's like, a lot of people don't understand that if you have a lot of money, you don't need to spend a lot of money, right? And the stuff that he does spend money on, like cars, he makes his money back, right? And so it's just it's a very simple thing to understand. The purpose of me making this video is to kind of lay out these facts so that you guys understand, you know, how Jeffrey does it. But once I explain to you how he does it, it should be pretty simple to understand that, you know, everything that he's doing is smart and he's not being irresponsible with his money or anything like that. So bottom line, he's very frugal. He doesn't spend a lot of money, so every dollar that he makes is essentially a dollar that he keeps or that he's able to invest in something else because his cost of living is very low. He doesn't spend a lot of money on clothes or food or anything like that. Like, literally, when Jeffrey and I are hanging out, he'll have a Groupon on his phone so that we get free tacos at Taco Bell or whatever it is. Like, literally every time I go out to dinner with him, we'll either be using a Groupon or there'll be some sort of like discount sale going on at whatever restaurant we're at. It's literally the funniest thing ever. And then, you know, another thing that he'll do is he'll like negotiate at a restaurant. Like, he'll negotiate the price at a restaurant. I don't know why he does it. It gets annoying sometimes, but you know, he is all about saving money and all about living frugally, living below your means, so that he can afford to go out there and buy these crazy expensive cars and then make money on them. So yeah, so I commend him for that. Outside of that, you know, he has investments in some private companies. And, you know, a lot of these opportunities have come to him through YouTube. You know, he did some cryptocurrency investing. Another big thing that he's working towards and that I'm also involved in is exotic rental cars. You know, we're looking into starting up an exotic rental car company here in Scottsdale where we've relocated to. Jeffrey and I moved out here to Scottsdale from Virginia about 8-9 months ago now. An exotic rental car company is something that we are interested in. And so a lot of the cars that Jeffrey's buying up, that he's making YouTube content with, will potentially be in the fleet for the exotic rental car company somewhere down the line. So he's a very forward, future thinking type of person, and you know, everything that he does, you know, for YouTube, a lot of the times has some sort of back-end monetization strategy as well. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today, guys, is the JR Business channel. And this is another thing that Jeffrey and even myself got a lot of slack for, because back when Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was really hot in like the beginning of 2018 and the later parts of 2017, we started making YouTube videos on this JR Business channel about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and things like that and blockchain technologies. And I think a lot of people are confused at what that was supposed to be. If you think about it, the JR Garage YouTube channel has a very young demographic. A lot of very young kids follow that channel. And so Jeffrey shouted out the JR Business channel with JR Garage. That's how it got so many subscribers so quickly. And from there, you know, it's natural to assume that the JR Business channel has a lot of young kids and a younger demographic as well. So therefore, a lot of the videos that we made on that channel were surrounded the topic of a young entrepreneurship and how to make money at a young age. So when Bitcoin and all of these cryptocurrencies became really hot, we decided to make videos, and you know, Jeffrey started making the videos, and then I was in a couple of them. He started making videos explaining cryptocurrency to the young following that the JR Business channel had. He was never calling himself an expert, never trying to you know, pump and dump or do any sort of, you know, things like that. There was no ulterior motives with that channel. There just wasn't. There was one video about Patcoin, which was like a little like micro coin, and Jeffrey made a video about it, and the price of the coin skyrocketed. okay? And literally, and I'm not even kidding you guys when I say this, Jeffrey made that video because Patcoin was the lowest market cap coin on coinmarketcap.com at the time. And he made the video literally to educate kids that the price of the coin doesn't matter, because it was like 1/100th of a penny or something crazy like that when he made the video. And so a lot of young kids, you know, if you don't have a lot of money and you see all these people, you know, buying Bitcoin, you might be motivated to buy your own cryptocurrency, but you know, maybe you can't afford a Bitcoin or even a Litecoin or anything like that. So Jeffrey essentially made a video saying, hey guys, there are coins out there that are really cheap, but just keep in mind that the price of the coin doesn't matter. It's all about the market cap and the potential for the coin to go up in value. And so that's what the Patcoin video was supposed to be about. But then people took that as Jeffrey recommending the coin, which he didn't really in the video, and he told people that he bought $100 worth of it, which he did. And then the price of the coin skyrocketed. And then people started calling Jeffrey a pump and dumper, or that he was being paid by Patcoin or something like that, because, you know, the price went up after his video. And really that was just the only reason that he made that video. It just so happens that that video got a lot of views and was recommended a lot on YouTube, and so a lot of people saw it and decided to invest in Patcoin. And that's really it, guys. That kind of summarizes everything that we try to do with the JR Business channel around the cryptocurrency topic. Any of the videos that we made, you know, we're not claiming to be experts. The only thing that we were trying to do with those cryptocurrency videos back 2 years ago was to educate young kids on cryptocurrency, how to get started and how to invest in cryptocurrency. So guys, I hope this video gave you some more insight on Jeffrey and on the JR Garage channel in general, a little bit more about him and his personal life and everything that he does with his cars and everything like that. Again, I know it's a little bit hard to believe and understand, but you know, I promise you guys everything in this video that I said is 100% factual. I'm very close with Jeffrey and I know a lot of things about all these topics that these JR Garage Exposed videos are talking about. Keep in mind, all those JR Garage Exposed videos, none of those people actually know him on a personal level. And so I wanted to make this video to kind of clear the air a little bit. And so if you guys think that I missed anything, or if you're still skeptical about anything, drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to either reply to the comment, or if there's enough comments, maybe I'll make another like follow-up video to this one, explaining some more things. Maybe Jeffrey and I will do a video together, I don't know. But yeah, drop a comment down below. If you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. If the button is red, make it gray. Click the like button, and guys, follow me on Instagram as well. My Instagram is Kieran O'Brien. Go shoot me a follow on there. I'd really appreciate it. Send me a DM. Let me know what video you're coming from. And also, if you're interested in internet marketing, online advertising, anything like that, if you're interested in making a full-time income by working on your laptop and all this stuff that you guys see all over the internet, I don't have a course, I'm not here to sell you anything, but if you guys want to learn more about how I do that, then just go browse my YouTube channel and watch some of the videos that I have here. There's a lot of free, valuable content here on my YouTube channel regarding those topics. So with that being said, guys, that ends this video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.